Action.
Now let's look at what happens from that initial position where you're tilting on your hip as he's standing up trying to knee slide. You cut him off, but now he doesn't shift back. None of what we've talked about so far occurs. Instead, he's going to keep his pressure going towards your back. Now we're basically into that reverse De La Riva position. And if you're not familiar with this, there's some very good attacks in there that work much the same as a traditional X-guard. So I'm in this position. One little note here too. Anytime you have a collar grip from this position and your partner's standing, you have to be careful. If Eric is a pretty agile type of guy, he's going to use this and he's going to do a flying triangle. So I always have to be ready to bring my elbow into my rib cage and bring my knees up to my chest if he does try and jump. But even more fundamentally, if he's up, I'm applying pressure down, so he's not going to be able to jump. He's not going to be able to leave his feet. That being said, let's go into it. So he goes for the knee slide. I block, but instead of going back so I can go into that X sweep or scissor sweep pressure, now he's going to take a step towards my head. At this point, I'm going to bury my top arm down tightly. And I'm going to come in here and wrap. Now, my hook stays behind his knee, and this leg's going to come down and wrap tight around his ankle. I'm going to stabilize, make sure he can't step over my head, can't really get out in any direction. Sometimes what I'll do is hold on to this grip if I already have it. Sometimes I will release and come down here to his ankle. Kind of depends on what you feel you have for an advantage. Okay, right here though, regardless, if I feel Eric's weight is forward, I'm going to start to try and take him in that direction. Okay, always, whatever way that their pressure, their weight is, always go with it. So from here, I come up, I'm going to grab this sleeve, because if I'm pitching him forward, I want to take away his post. So now I bridge, and I bring him over, all set in here, ready to pass. Okay, depending on what he does, I can either knee slide over, or if he really compensates, I can go under the leg in the opposite direction. One more time. Starts to take that big step. Burying my elbow here, coming around and grabbing right as soon as he steps into that position. From here, I release, grab, and now just a little bit of pressure in that direction as I push with my shin. Bring it down, elbow retracted, ready to pass.